Okay, so this is part 2 of HR 25. Focus. All right. And so we were talking before I got rudely interrupted by my rude phone. We were talking about what it will do: income tax repealed, payroll tax repealed. Estate and gift taxes repealed. God, you can actually give your fucking home was already taxed to death, right? At 1% for 30 freaking years till you get it paid off. Probably more longer than that if you're stupid enough to refinance it. If your goal was to pay off the fucking thing, you don't want to refinance it, okay? It doesn't make sense. All the way up to like 11%. I did the math on it. Probably could see my video if it's still posted on the Jihadi Scotty channel, which is sole purpose is to stop corruption with these guys. Okay, forcing everyone to submit a government form against you. It's criminal. It's a criminal. Racketeering and RICO statutes are violated. Title 18. Taxing income multiple times. They even say it in the bill. They explain it's going to retard, the growth, impedes international competitive. Yeah, because I know they don't, for a fact, in Ukraine they don't have tax. Russia, they don't have income tax. Maybe on government employees they do, but not on regular employees. They just get around it somehow. They don't have a IRS. Making up a bunch of shit and then sending it to your employer, forcing your employer, you're like, it's going to face a $100,000 fine if he doesn't turn you into a government employee. Anyways, so you got all these here's the bitch session, unfair, unequitable, and blah, blah, blah. Still, even though they bitch about this unnecessary tax burden, a lot of billion citizens, yeah. Upward social mobility, you think? You think you need that money because you're not rich. You don't have all this disposable income. You're barely making your mortgage payment, and then they want to garnish your wages. At 49 to 53, 54%, which is, I can't find the law on that. If anybody can find the law that says what the maximum amount they can do on a wage garnishment against your base pay is. I know you don't get overtime. Overtime's gone because it goes to the IRS. So does your bonus check. That's in the law. So I don't know about overtime. I know bonus checks in the law. But so blah, blah, blah. They're still bitching about it. We'll promote savings investment. You think? Oh, hey, look, 5 states don't have sales tax because only 45 of the 50 states have sales tax. So that's going to fucking change. But this is a good bill. This is a good bill. So all 50 states will have to be on board probably with the federal. And so the federal is using the state. The feds are using the states as proxy. They do it anyways. I much prefer the corruption in Russia where they just, hey, pay the mob, pay the fucking government employee. And he's not even corrupt. He's just a government employee. He wanted to, he can't provide for his kids anyways on the low pay in Russia, So I like that. That's upfront. That's honest. Pay up. It's a corrupt system. Pay us. At least it's the lowest level. You're not paying a big government to go hire a bunch of people to go against the, people in the 50 states of the Union. Okay, collection of federal taxes at the state level. See that? That's important to understand. The states are going to be collecting the federal tax too. It's all going to be included in that 14%, whatever, 15%. What did I say it was? 14.9%. Okay. And withholding of income tax. See? Relating here to withholding. So this is the amended part. Payroll taxes repealed. Do you get it? Okay, focus. And state and gift taxes repealed. That's it. Social Security Act. For funding of the Social Security Trust Fund. So Social Security is still going to be funded by the federal government. Don't panic, freaking status. God, I'm willing to give up my Social Security retirement. I'm like 54. Just to make the income tax go away, because then it gets to actually start saving. And if I wouldn't have to pay the Social Security tax of $600 something dollars a month, we could start saving in a private buy Romero or Bitcoin or whatever, you know, and we could make some money. But the bank wouldn't like that. Okay, so Title 26 is now going to be called the Internal Revenue Code of whatever the current year is. 2019's passed because this bill just sat on someone's. It just sat. It's just a bullshit Fair Tax Act. I don't know if it's ever going to go through. Because okay, we'll get through this in a couple videos. Okay, a couple 10-minute long videos. And sales tax, it's going to be a state implemented by the state, so it'll be a local tax like your city tax, plus the state is going to tax it. Whatever you buy, it's going to be like 14%. It's going to start off at the 23%, and it's going to be lowered to 14.9 over about a year or so. Okay, so sales tax, that's what it's going to be. And then they had to make it really complicated. And of course, this is all for government employees working as a trade or business. It doesn't apply to the 50 states of the union nationals, but we're being forced to be government employees. So if we're gonna fucking be forced to be government employees, then I really want this HR 25 to go through. It's better than the IRS. Fearing the IRS, losing sleep. You want to lose sleep? Sleep is very important to your health. Purposes, blah, 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 raise revenue, needed by the federal government, okay? So, and then consumption of goods and services will be once to tax all consumption of goods and services in the United States once. You notice how the United States is located in the District of Columbia, probably. We'll go through the definitions later, but it is the District of Columbia only, and its states, which aren't the states of the federal 50 states. They're the federal states, which includes only the District of Columbia as the federal state. The territories are like, Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, Guam, etc. Here, hey, we got to the definitions. Common law. Look, they talk about common law. Isn't that a conspiracy theory? I didn't think that common law really existed. So they're considering the secretary, the corrupt secretary is considering common law canons. Then, like the Catholic Church or whatever started with canon law back in the Roman days. The law was with the church, and it was common law based on the Bible or whatever. Better than what we got now. So, still fucking lie, turning everybody into status, government employees. We don't even get the benefits, guys. So if you are a government employee, fine. But, I'm not getting any benefits. I'm not going to see my Social Security check, by the way. When I do an early retirement at 57 or whatever, 60, I'm not going to see it because there's such a huge mountain of debt that has been built up by the IRS illegally doing substitute for returns, which is only for government employees. So I have to I got to eat my retirement, man. I'm just going to have to take it. There's no retiring in America if you don't jump through the hoops, which is file definitions or renege all those, 1099s, 1098s, all the W whatevers your employer puts against you to turn your non-wage remuneration into taxable income. Definitions. All right, definitions. So how do we miss it? Affiliated firms, affiliated with 50% more. Affiliated firms is the first definition. Conforming state sales tax, and they say what it is. And then designated commercial private courier service. Blah, blah, blah. I guess that's truck drivers, I don't know. A private courier service is some kind of general public. Okay, that's why you have to read the definitions. Look at this. You have to provide its services general public, records electronically in the database for delivery. Has operating for at least 1 year. Education and training is blah blah. Okay, look, intangible property, copyrights, trademarks, securities, commercial paper, debt, notes, bonds, and other. Even though it's all government stuff within the District of Columbia, they're going to apply this to you. So if you have any notes you're getting interest on, I don't know if they're going to be taxed or not. These are just definitions. Rents or leaseholds, real property. And of course, real property isn't going to be, it's going to be applied to the 50 states of the Union, of course, corruptly. Natural person, here we go again with the fucking foreign and domestic shit. Which one are you, foreign or domestic? Domestic means in DC, or its states, which are limited to the, what? District of Columbia is the state. The states, there's not the 50 states of the Union. Let's see, let's continue, because it's going to define that for us. Hey, look at this shit. Here we go again with this shit. So I put the notes over there. Trade or business. Taxable property. So, in general, taxable property or service is used to produce, provide, render, or sell a taxable property, or like your home, or service in such if such a property or service is purchased by a person engaged in trade or business for the purpose of employing or using such taxable property or service in the production, provision, rendering, sale of other taxable property or service in the ordinary course of that trade or business. Trade or business is the functions of a public office. This is defined for us. They're not going to define it here, but it's possibly, no, they don't define it here, but they do in Title 26, because this bill relates to Title 26, and these definitions are following Title 26. Okay, and then registered sale, taxable employer. Term taxable employer includes any household employing domestic servants. Any government except, so this is in the District of Columbia. If you have a household that's being paid by the state, I guess, like the White House, engaged exceptions. The term taxable employer does not include any employer which is engaged in a trade or business, a nonprofit organization. Does not include an employer, which is the government, engaged in a trade or business, which is government. So taxable employer does not include the government, because they're engaged in trade or business. Only the government is. It's starting to make sense. You can't tax yourself, and a government enterprise. So does not include government enterprise. Or so what does this fucking tell you? What does this tell you? The trade or business is definitely functions of a public office, just like it says in 7701, Title 26. Can you look it up and read it? Or just get off my fucking channel? God. I've been trying to say that for a million years, and I'm tired of people asking questions, stupid questions about shit. You read the law, and it all makes sense. Look, rents, any property includes households or rents with respect to such properties, but excluding intangible property and used property. So only new houses are going to be Of course, it's really only supposed to be in DC and only in the course of trade or business. In other words, you buy it for your government dealings with the government. And those rents coming from that property that you bought to have a government business, like a warehouse you're renting out to subcontracting out to it's a widget you're making for the government. The rent on that would be taxed. Service. Okay, so this concludes video number 2. And we're going to go on to the trade or business bullshit. Wages. Hey, look, we got wages in the next video. Thank you.